This story surrounding this idiot who broke into the medical facility where Thad Cochran's wife is living is taking a bizarre turn. The Daily Beast, which is not exactly friendly to conservatives, did a whole article on Chris McDaniel and said he's totally innocent of any connection to this blogger, this Clayton Kelly guy. And yet they're saying, but the question is, when did the campaign know? Okay, you could ask that question all day, but you just said it yourself. Chris McDaniel has nothing to do with this guy. End of story. He should suffer the consequences of breaking and entering alone, be prosecuted and incarcerated. End of story. I don't care if the guy's in the Tea Party. He committed a crime. Just because somebody who has your bumper sticker on their car when they commit a crime does not mean you are tied to that person. That would be like saying if somebody with a Wilkow Majority bumper sticker was engaged in a hit and run, that you could actually say, Andrew Wilkow is tied to this hit and run accident. No, I'm not. 1-866-95-PATRIOT. Joining me on the program right now is Chris McDaniel, McDaniel2014.com. How you doing, sir?
Andrew, thanks for having me, man. Great to be back.
All right, this is getting bizarre because even the media, who might not be friendly towards you, can't find any connection between you and this guy.
No, our campaign had absolutely nothing to do with that. It's just outrageous to claim otherwise. And that's one of the reasons we keep trying to move to the issues that matter. And it's one of the reasons Senator Cochran's team wants to stick on these distractions, because that's all they are just distractions. And he knows that if the people are talking about issues, he's losing. He's got a 42-year record of liberalism, a 42-year record of growing government. So he needs distractions every day to avoid his record. And it's our job to talk about his record.
But here's what I don't get about the distraction here. You are not tied to this person. Nobody can nobody, even the people who don't like you or disagree with you or are running against you, can provide any shred of a connection between you and this person. This should be the end of this. This guy should stand trial for breaking and entering, and that's the end of the story.
Yeah, absolutely. We absolutely no connection whatsoever. You're exactly right.
But that's not just coming from you. That's coming from media who clearly have a vested interest in you not winning this primary.
That's right.
So what else is there to this? I mean...
Well, that's it. We're doing our best to talk about his record. They're doing their best to talk about everything but his record. And we know, Andrew, America has an opportunity crisis. Mississippi has an opportunity crisis. And what we're trying to bring to our state and our people is some degree of upward mobility. And we know there's a way to do that with this new conservative reform agenda. And we're out there trying to talk about this agenda. You've probably heard Mike Lee talk about it, and Ted Cruz and Rand Paul. And this is an agenda that works for Mississippi. It works for the country. But right now, no one wants to talk about it, it seems, because of the distractions. But that's what we're focused on, is this conservative reform agenda.
Has this affected your poll numbers in any way? Because clearly, if it is in any way, then Thad Cochran's got an incentive to keep this in the news.
Well, no, it has not. The poll numbers haven't been affected. The people of Mississippi see through this. They understand what's going on, and that's one of the reasons they want to have a debate. And we've been asking Senator Cochran to come down to Mississippi and debate us every opportunity we've had. We have nothing to hide. We have the momentum in this race. We know we're going to win this race. And we're traveling across the state right now on the bus. We go about 1,500 miles per week, seeing Mississippians, talking about real issues, the ones that matter to Mississippians. And that's why he won't debate me. And so we feel fine. We're going to keep plugging. We're going to keep talking about the issues that matter. We're going to unveil our conservative reform agenda here in the next couple of days, and we're going to show Mississippi that we're ready to work.
You have a 6-point lead. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We believe so.
All right. So now you're crossing the line of a real threat to Democrats, because probably whoever wins the Republican primary is going to win the seat. So they can either have you, the Democrats meaning, or they can have a guy who's going to vote with the Democrats. So clearly, both the Democrats and the establishment Republicans have something to fear from you, but you're up 6 points, which puts you above and beyond the margin of error.
Well, I'm a conservative, always have been, a lifelong Republican, but a conservative first and foremost, and that's why we're doing so well in the polls. People of this state, it's very clear to them. They understand Washington's heading the wrong direction, that Washington has to be changed. There's no way to change Washington if we keep sending the same people up here year in and year out. And Senator Cochran, he's been there 42 years. And Mississippi remains dead last in just about every indicator. So after 42 years, our people know it's time for a change. They're ready for courage. They're ready for bold colors, not pastels. They're ready for principle, and they're ready for new plans, and we offer that plan. And Thad, well, he's just been silent the entire time. No one can name a single fight he's led against Barack Obama, ever. He's been completely silent. You know what, Andrew? If you're silent in this environment, that's complicity. And that's truly unfortunate if you can't fight Barack Obama.
I haven't heard him say, because it's really frightening to me, is how many Republicans are in favor of things like Common Core. I know that Lamar Alexander was promoting something that was like a precursor to Common Core as early as 1989. We were playing the speech from back then. I mean, I can't think of the last time I saw like you said yourself, a fight over some issue that was taken up by Thad Cochran.
Mississippi has to have someone that will fight aloud for their conservative values, for our conservative values. And Senator Cochran has been silent. It doesn't matter what the issue is. On Common Core, he supported the monies. He was silent. On funding Obamacare, he was silent. When it came to several gun regulations or restrictions, he's been silent. Across the board, every time the conservatives lose a battle, or at least are engaged in a battle, Senator Cochran's been silent. Mississippians want someone that's going to stand there on that floor with Ted Cruz and Mike Lee and Rand Paul and to raise their voice in defense of conservative principles and values. That's who we're asking for. That's where we're going to win this race.
Now, am I right? He voted for the creation of the Department of Education and then voted for No Child Left Behind, which,
right.
Really, I don't think there's a conservative out there that tried to defend George Bush on that. That was essentially Common Core, which is supported by Jeb Bush and the establishment.
That's right, folks. Team tender for the end that Senator Cochran, he did vote for the Department of Education despite Republican objections. He reached across the aisle, joined with Jimmy Carter, and supported that monstrosity. Likewise, when No Child Left Behind came around, he was a big supporter of it, and now he's supporting the race to the top funds. He has been in the pockets of the Democrats for as long as we can remember, and there are some of us in this state, we're tired of reaching across the aisle. We want people to stand for our conservative beliefs, stop the compromising, stop spending my great-great-grandchildren's future, and that's what we're going to be. We're going to stand there on that floor, and we're going to fight for our belief system.
Now, he also voted, am I right, for the New Year's Day fiscal cliff vote, which raised taxes.
Yes, that's right. Oh, he's voted to raise taxes many times, from internet taxes to income taxes to gasoline taxes. He is a friend to big government. He is a friend to cronyism. He is a friend to illegal immigration. He is a friend to everything that most reckoned conservatives would find appalling. But that's who he's been, and his record speaks very clearly on that, and that's why the American Conservative Union gave him a D- during the Obama presidency. They refused to endorse his race this time. He just hasn't been a conservative voice for Mississippi, and that has to change. We are, after all, the most conservative state in the republic.
How old is he now? Like 70? How old is he?
Yeah, he's 76.
76. All right, so, I mean, this is something I don't like when people say, well, he's a really nice guy. I'm getting this, I get this from people. I went to a campaign event for Rick Van Glan, who's running a primary against Rodney Frelinghuysen, the congressman in my district, and everybody says, well, Rodney's a really nice guy. I said, this is not about who's a nice guy. This is about people who've been there 20 years, 30 years, in some cases 40 years, that none of these people are going to be losing their homes or their bank accounts or their health care by being voted out of office. They'll be just fine. Many of them have 6- and 7-figure bank accounts. It's about, what have you done lately that advances the cause of limited government and low taxes? If there's no answer, then I'm going to support a primary challenger.
Well, these backroom deals are part of the problem, these so-called friendships they develop. I mean, after all, Senator Cochran was the first Republican to reach across the aisle and support Chuck Hagel, for goodness sakes. No one in Mississippi wanted Chuck Hagel confirmed but Thad Cochran. And once he reached across the aisle, he and 3 other Republicans, the Republicans could not stop his nomination. So it's every vote across the spectrum, Andrew. He's cast it. He shouldn't have cast it. It's time to bring them home and put a real conservative up there so we can fight for Mississippi's values. And that's the thing. You know, we're not moving up there to Washington. We're moving Mississippi's values to Washington, and that's what we care about. I'm not about backroom deals. I'm not about lobbyists. I'm not about insiders. I'm about the Constitution, and I'm about Mississippi and moving forward to save this republic from a fiscal nightmare.
You know, it's just, it looks like that the Republicans are going to take the Senate. I think everybody agrees. But it seems like the establishment wants guys like you, guys like me, guys like Matt Kibbe to all be quiet because, and we've been through this before. Let's just get the liberal Republicans in there, and it'll be great. No, if you have a room full of liberal Republicans, the voting turns out to be the exact same thing as if you have a room full of liberal Democrats. If you have a room full of big government Republicans, you get the same result as the room full of big government Democrats. It's the same thing. And it seems like the only thing the establishment candidates are worried about is where they are in the apparatus.
Yeah, that's a real problem. It's no longer good enough just to have an R behind your name. You have to be a person of principle and courage, and you have to be conservative. We've been betrayed by a number of people with R's behind their name, and I think most Americans have had enough of that. What we need are people willing to stand their ground for a change, and that's what's been so inspiring lately to see some of these younger conservatives up there. They've stood there, they fought, they've taken a lot of criticism for it, but that's what this is all about, is standing. It don't talk like race.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
it's one last thing because we're running out of time in the program. Chris McDaniel's joining us. Did you? I mean, I remember thinking the day I saw that you took a 6-point lead was also the same day that this story broke, and no one said, you know, this just seems a little too coincidental. Because the Cochran campaign, the question that they're asking now, and I saw this in the Daily Beast, is when did you know about it? The question should be when did they know about it? Because apparently they're the ones that held on to it for 2 weeks.
Well, almost 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
They held the story and did not file charges for almost 3 weeks. And I can tell you, had it been my grandmother, had it been my wife, I'd have filed it instantly. But they held on to the story for 3 weeks. That's right.
Why would? Yeah, this has nothing to do with you. Is Thad Cochran so political that when somebody breaks in, and you've said it on this program, I think we all agree that this is a pretty disgusting thing to do, regardless of your political views. You don't break into the hospital room of an elderly person who's infirm and take pictures of them to exploit for political gain. I don't care who the hell you are. That if Thad Cochran is so concerned about his wife's dignity, they should have filed those charges the day of.
I agree. I would have filed them the day of. No question about that. I wouldn't have waited for 3 weeks.
That just seems weird.
Right. Well, I'll tell you this, Andrew. We're having a great time down here in this race, and I'll be the first to tell you. In the end, this isn't about who I'm running against. It's what I'm running for. And the conservative agenda that we're going to place forward over the next few days is going to be everything right. Pursuant to the Constitution, it's going to change the way we look, not only at this country, but our state. And I'm inviting people to join me, to join this conservative cause. It's important. Now is our chance to fight. Now is our chance to make a real difference. And if you'll come join us, if you don't mind, can I give my website?
Of course you can.
Please come join us at our website. The website is McDaniel2014.com. It's just McDaniel2014.com. There are thousands of patriots coming to the state. There are thousands of conservatives that are giving money. We are well positioned to win this on June the 3rd. We believe we will, but we need your help. Now's the time. Now's the time to learn to fight again.
All right. I got to end the program here because Hannity's coming up next. McDaniel2014.com. Don't let this one get to you. It sounds like everybody knows this incident with Senator Cochran's wife has nothing to do with you. Chris McDaniel, thanks for joining us.